Welcome to another episode of Riding and Wrenching, the biggest little YouTube channel on the entire interwebs. I am your host, Q the Rider, and today I am back in the parking lot here at Arlington Middle School in Arlington, Tennessee, and I'm going to get some slow speed practice in today. Now, before I get started, I want to give a shout out to a subscriber to my channel. He is a motor officer from the state of Washington, and he's been watching my slow speed videos, and we've been communicating back and forth via email, and he's been giving me some tips and sending me some video clips of him riding.
If I screw up, you just stop it. If you screw up, I'll put it on a loop. You got to do it again. My thumb was in the way the whole time.
Basically telling me the same thing that Robert Simmons has been telling me, and that Ken told me at Lock and Lean. You got to turn your head and eyes, and that's what I'm going to practice today. But I want to give a special shout out to Officer Greg in Washington, because he sent me a book, the Motorcycle Pattern Book, and this is the book with all the patterns that the motor officers use when they're training in, looks like Washington, California, and Oregon. So this is pretty cool. So the exercise that I set up today, it's called the intersection. I've heard some motor officers call it the Iron Cross. You know, I guess there's different names for it. But basically, it's a series of 4 U-turns. So I'll walk through that in just a moment. But again, just want to give a shout out to Officer Greg for sending me the book and being so encouraging. In fact, he wrote me a note. It says, Michael, here you go. Your own pattern book. The basic motor patterns are all based off of the intersection, and that's what I'm going to do today. It says your U-turn exercise was just one leg of it. in the intersection. Have fun with this. Remember, head and eyes up, the gray area clutch control, and maximize your space. Man, where have I heard that before? So we're going to get out here and have some fun with it today. The dimensions for the intersection that I set up, it's 4 20-foot basically U-turn boxes, and they are 25 feet deep. So the pattern book here calls for 20 feet wide and somewhere between 23 and 32 feet. So I went with 25. I hope that's enough space. I don't know. We'll find out. You have from here to here is 25 feet. Here to here is 20 feet. And then this cone to this cone is about 6 feet. So that gives me my dimensions for my U-turn. So I'll basically come in, do a U-turn, and go back out. And over here, where's my box at? Here, and do a U-turn in this one. And then there's 2 more. So it's basically, it's basically an intersection. You've seen this pattern on a variety of other YouTube videos, so I guess mine will be no different, except I'm a beginner. I'm going to use my Street Glide for practice today because this is the bike that I'm going to take down to Pensacola with me for my very first motorcycle rodeo, which is going to be taking place next weekend. I'll post the details in the description of this video. If you happen to be anywhere near Pensacola, you want to come and watch, or you want to come and say hello, feel free to do so. All right, let's do it. I'm not finding that to be much of a challenge. I think maybe I need to tighten it up a little bit. I'm going to try going the opposite way now. So my right turns are definitely my weaker turn. So we'll give that a shot and we'll see how that goes. It took a long time to set this up. I'm not going to tighten it up. It's too much work. But anyway, still fun. There we go. Wow. God dang, these right turns are killing me. Oh, my bike is smoking. Head and eyes makes a big difference. Wow, it's amazing. Just to ignore the cones, because when I enter the U-turn box, I'm focused on getting my front wheel as close to the line as possible, and then I guess the back part of the U-turn box. Once I get there, then I'm looking for my cone at the exit, and that's what I'm looking at to get me out of the box. And the cones that are along the far part of the U-turn box, I don't look at those at all. I got 3 focus points. If I'm going to do a right turn, it's the cone to the far left, to make sure I get up in there as tight as possible, and to hit the apex of the U-turn, and then I'm immediately looking for my exit. And none of the other cones matter. So I don't look at those, and I find that when I do it that way and I'm not staring at the cones, I don't fear running them over, and then I can just execute. So it does make a big difference. The nice thing about this particular pattern is that you're doing turns to the right and left. So I'm still getting my left turns in, which are definitely stronger for me, or I'm more comfortable with them. I'm not going to say that they're stronger. I'm just more comfortable with it for some reason, which is odd because on this bike, I'm dragging the kickstand every time I turn left. You know, I don't know what to do about that. Maybe I need to adjust the suspension or something, because every time I turn left, I'm dragging the kickstand all over the place. So we'll have to fix that. But in any event, we're going to keep going. I got some good practice in today. So I did have the intersection set up, and I went in both directions, clockwise and counterclockwise. I had an opportunity to speak to Officer Greg while I was practicing. You know, I took a break and we kind of talked about some different variations I could do to the intersection, and I tried that, and that was pretty cool. So again, big shout out to Officer Greg in Washington for helping me out. So I'm pretty excited about this. I did make some mistakes. I don't know if I got any of them on film, but I put my freaking foot down again, both of them. My feet are already sore, and I did it again. Oh, you know, the only good thing about hurting my foot is I had another uh-oh moment, I guess. And I was about to put my foot down, and I caught myself, and I just let the clutch out. So that's that trust and believe that Robert Simmons always talks about. And maybe I need to hurt my feet a little bit more before I finally get it through my thick skull. You know, just to let the clutch out if you're feeling that uh-oh moment, you know. But I don't know, I may need to adjust the clutch on this bike, or I don't know. I'm not sure what happened, but in any event, but I will be in Pensacola again. Be sure to check the comment section if you're anywhere near Pensacola, Florida, and you want to come and watch the rodeo. It's going to be some great people there. All of the instructors from Lock and Lean are going to be there. I'm going to have an opportunity to interview Ben Wolf. He actually wants to challenge me in a slow race. That's going to be the funniest slow race ever. I stand no chance unless I throw something at him. But we'll see how that goes. It's going to be fun no matter what, because again, my goal is to go out there and just learn, get to meet some new people and have some fun. My guys from Nova Slow Speed are going to be there, and I'm going to be meeting them again when we take Lock and Lean 102. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll hopefully be able to do a little bit more filming there so that you can see what that experience is like for everybody. So it should be a lot of fun. That's all I have. This is Q. I'm riding, I'm wrenching, and riding in slow circles in the parking lot, and I'm out.